Hello. In this video, we will discuss about the zodiac sign of Cancer, or Karka as it is described in Sanskrit in Vedic astrology. Now, let's see what we mean by Cancer or Karka. What's the translation of Cancer or Karka as per the Sanskrit dictionary? Now, Karka as per Sanskrit means white and also something related to a water or a white horse or a crab. So this is the Sanskrit translation of Karka. However, we'll be discussing this zodiac sign in detail. We did discuss about the zodiac signs of Aries, Taurus, and Gemini in our previous videos, and this is the fourth in the series. So let's see what Sage Parashara says about Karka Rashi, or the zodiac sign of Cancer. And once again, these videos are just to make sure that we are going to the basics, and we know that there are a lot of astrologers out there who are giving their own information about the zodiac signs, planets, Vedic astrology in general, and the purpose of these videos are to make sure we get the facts right from the scriptures, from what the sages said. So this is what Sage Parashara mentions about Karka or Cancer zodiac sign. He describes people with the zodiac sign of Karka or Cancer ascendant as with a heavy body and powerful hands, and the upper portion of their body is generally big, and as they grow in age they get a belly as well. That's what Sage Parashara mentions, and this kind of relates to the three gunas, which are the in Ayurveda. If you know a little about Ayurveda, there are three doshas or gunas. People call them either doshas or gunas, and they are Pitta, Kapha, and Vata. And this sign of Cancer is more related to the Kapha temperament, or Prakriti as it's called in Sanskrit. So this is what Parashara says, that they're large in their upper body with powerful hands and heavy body, and they tend to get a belly in their later ages, and also they are generally short in their stature. They're not very tall. Like we discussed Gemini ascendant, if you remember, we discussed Gemini ascendant and we described them as somebody who's tall with a long nose, whereas Karka or Cancer ascendant people are generally short and big. They're not tall and slender. Also, people of this ascendant, according to Sage Parashara, are changeable, or they are also they are very changeable, like the moon. Like the moon changes its position in various zodiac signs and stays in one zodiac sign in approximately 2.25 days, and also it waxes and wanes, so it's described as very changeable. So similar is the nature or prakriti of this ascendant people with this zodiac sign of Cancer or Karka. So Sage Parashara is describing it just like the moon. And like the moon, he's also describing that life is also changeable, like lots of ups and downs. So people with this ascendant, you'll see when you start doing and reading charts, that people will with this ascendant of Cancer will have lots of ups and downs and changes in their lives. It won't be like smooth and steady. And of course, another property which Sage Parashar describes is that they are emotional people. And why? Because the ruler of Cancer is Moon, and Moon is all about emotions, and that makes a lot of sense. They're also sympathetic towards people, and sometimes on the negative side, they can get a little more sensitive than what they should be. So it's about changes, emotions, the fluidity, the fluid nature, so as to say, the changeable nature, emotional, sympathetic, and sometimes on the negative side, they can get a little more emotional than what they probably can be. Sometimes, just like the moon, they change. Sometimes they can be very, you know, straight, simple, and sometimes they can be complicated, and sometimes they can be full of courage, and sometimes they can just be very, very timid as well. So again, changes in their nature, and that's all related to moon. As we know, the moon waxes and wanes and changes its position very quick. So is the zodiac sign of Cancer, and people with this Cancer ascendant are very similar. They are generally very successful in the society, because moon generally, we know, is related to the public, the society. And since the zodiac sign of Cancer is ruled by moon, and people with this ascendant also are pretty successful in their public lives and in society in general. And they are generally wealthy, they're honored, they're respected in society, just like the moon is. Another trait or feature of Cancer ascendant people is that they love their homes, comfort. Because, say, the natural zodiac sign of the natural ruler of the zodiac sign of Cancer is Moon, and the natural house over which Cancer rules is the fourth house. And we discussed in our previous videos that the fourth house represents comforts, homes, happiness, emotions, mother as well. So that's also associated with these kinds of things are also associated with Cancer ascendant people. And Sage Parashara describes that people with Cancer ascendant generally love their homes, and they like to have a comfortable home, you know, and very well kept, and they're very particular about that. Also, Sage Parashara says, and this is very strange, normally we would assume that people with Cancer ascendant would have a happy married life. But Sage Parashara says people with Cancer or Karaka ascendant do not have a happy married life. And that's very strange. Why would this be? Well, one of the reasons could be the zodiac sign right opposite to Cancer ascendant is Capricorn, and Capricorn rules the seventh house, which is the house of marriage. And the sign of Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is not friends to the moon, which is the ruler of Cancer. And maybe this is the reason why their married lives are generally not successful. They're unhappy in their marriages, and this could be one of the reasons. But this is what Sage Parashara describes people with Cancer ascendant, and we're not going to argue about this. And if you look at the charts, it will make a lot of sense. You'll see a lot of charts with Cancer ascendant who do not have an extremely happy married life. But we cannot generalize it. There are maybe cases where people would be extremely unhappy or extremely happy, but as a general rule, there's unhappiness there. Also, Sage Parashara describes in his teachings, which has been compiled in the Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra, that the zodiac sign of Cancer represents the Brahmins. And we have discussed there are four varnas, the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, the Shudras, and the Vaishyas, which used to make sense thousands of years ago, but it does not make sense in today's day and age. But we're going to discuss this, since this has been mentioned in the scriptures, that yes, they represent Brahmins. And also the guna is sattvic, and we've discussed three major gunas, which is sattva guna, which is sattvic, raja guna, which is rajasic, and tamaguna, which is tamasic. And out of these three gunas, the zodiac sign of Cancer is sattvic, just like the ruler of zodiac sign, which is moon, that is also considered sattvic. So there is a similarity here. Sometimes there's not a similarity between the ruler of that zodiac sign and the zodiac sign, but as far as the guna is concerned, there is a similarity here. It is strong in nights, and as you know, moon is strong in nights, so it makes a lot of sense that the zodiac sign is strong in night as well. And it has a big body, we already discussed about that. And it is a watery sign. Cancer, as we all know, is a watery sign, and this has been described by sage Parashara through his Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra as well. And the ruler is moon, as we know. And this describes the zodiac sign of Cancer, or Karaka, as described by the sage Parashara, and we will be discussing about another zodiac sign in our next video. Thank you.